Hi, I'm Michelle Beget with a look at what's happening in Latin America now. But first, our news trivia. What country in Latin America has the highest percentage of its GDP in the hands of its rich? We'll have the answer later. Cleanup and rescue efforts continue in the Brazilian city of Petrópolis after a devastating mudslide. A week after the flash floods, authorities say there are more than 170 dead and 110 missing. The rainfall that caused the landslides was the heaviest that's been recorded since 1932. Petrópolis is a tourist destination in the hills of Rio de Janeiro. It was once known as the Imperial City because it was the summer hideaway for Brazilian royalty in the 19th century. The Dominican Republic is following the global trend of building walls to stop migration. This week, construction began on a 3.9-meter-high wall between Dominican Republic and Haiti. According to authorities, this will help stop the rising flow of migrants as Haiti goes through further political and economic turmoil. The wall is intended to cover nearly half of the DR's 392-kilometer border with Haiti. The wall will have 70 watchtowers, along with movement sensors, fiber optics, and cameras. Argentina is still trying to control the blazing wildfires raging in its province of Corrientes. According to the National Institute of Agricultural Technology, almost 800,000 hectares of land have been burned. That's almost 9% of the territory. Let's go to my colleague in Argentina, Joel Richards, who has more.
It's a dramatic situation in the north of Argentina, a province literally on fire. Wildfires that have been raging for weeks have now affected a large part of Corrientes. There was light rain earlier this week, giving the firefighters some hope, but the prolonged spell of drought, low humidity and the way in which land is used are the main reasons that we now have this situation. While firefighters are scrambling to combat fires, provincial and national authorities blame each other for this disaster. The social network influencer Santi Maratea got to work. He raised over 100 million pesos, which is around $1 million. Maratea turns 30 this year. He's gained some 3 million followers on Instagram, firstly as a comedian, but now more he's known for raising funds for causes like this. It's a huge amount of money, although the Environment Ministry has said the amount raised is half of what the state is currently spending every day to stop the fire. So the crisis has opened a series of debates, from the role of the state to climate change and land usage to the need for legislation to protect fragile ecosystems. But for now, the only certainty is that the province will take years to recover from these fires.
Now let's take a look at what stories we're following for next week. First, we'll be following the swearing-in of Chile's new president, Gabriel Boric. The student activist will become Chile's youngest president at 36 when he takes office on March 11th. Boric has been busy putting together a list of his potential ministers. He's also trying to find a house close enough to the presidential palace and with all the qualifying security measures. He says his first order of business will be to submit a tax reform bill to Congress. And second, Peru announced it will be putting its former president, Ollanta on trial. This will be the first corruption trial against a president in relation to the Odebrecht scandal. The Brazilian construction giant confessed that it had paid millions of dollars in bribes to officials across Latin America to secure contracts. If Ollanta and his wife are found guilty, they could be sentenced to up to 26 years in prison. And now the answer to our news trivia. The answer is B. Chile was the country in Latin America to have the highest level of concentrated wealth in 2021. According to statistics analyzed by the Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, the joint wealth of Chile's richest families is equivalent to 16.1% of the country's gross domestic product. The calculations only took into consideration the country's billionaires, which in fact are just 9. And that's it for this week. We'll see you again soon on Latin America Now.